Siyata Dishmai, with the help of Hashem, I want to relate to the words of Chazal in Masechet Shabbos. In Masechet Shabbos, the Yud Amud Beis, the Gemara says as follows: V'omar Rove bar Mechasya, Omar Rav Chame bar Gudyo, Omar Rav. So the Gemara in Shabbos, the Yud Amud Beis, brings a statement in the name of Rav. Lo oilom al yeshane odom benoi ben abonim. Never should a person change between one son and the other children. Means don't give preference to one son above the other children. Shebishvil mishkal shnei sloim milas, because of the weight of two sloim of milas. Milas is material of meshi. Meshi is in Hebrew is meshi, in English is silk. Because of the weight of two sloim of silk, shenosan Yaakov le Yosef, that Yaakov gave Yosef more than other children of his. Niskanu boy, they had jealousy on him. Eicho. V'nisgal geladovo, and the thing rolled down. V'yoldo avosenu Mitzrayim, our forefathers went down to Egypt. So what does it mean? So Rashi says that he found Betalmid Rabbi Henoch Leibowitz that Ksoines Pasi means he gave on his arm straps of silk. And that was the weight of two sloim. Pasi means straps, and those straps are made out of silk. So because Yaakov gave his beloved son, Yoseif, he showed his love more than the others. He made a shinu, he made a change. So because he made a change, caused the brothers to have jealousy on him, and because of that, they went down to Mitzrayim. So Toysas right away asks, "V'afal gav the belav ochi nigza." Even though any of that to go down, as it says, "V'avodum v'inu oisom," they will serve the goyim, the Egyptians, they will afflict them. That was being said in Brisbane Abesorim. So Toysas answers, "Shema lo hoyo nigza aleim inui kolkach." Maybe the affliction was not so strong, and the strong affliction came because Yaakov Avinu changed between the brothers. We spoke about yesterday, opposite. That anyhow they had to go down, if it wasn't further for Yaakov and Yosef, the whole story, they'll go down with chains of metal. But
it's because an Inui in Mitzrayim. They go to Mitzrayim and they have Inui. But maybe it won't go in Bichlal.
Should be because of that it caused that it went down to Egypt. Toisa says any of that to serve them in Inu Isom. He says maybe the Inu is not so strong to do this. The 400 years started way before Yitzchak was born. 30 years means there wasn't a strong affliction, which means they're going down and living in Egypt, which is a foreign country. It could be other foreign countries, but in Egypt they afflicted there. That caused because Yaakov Avinu was Meshana, he changed between one son and the others. Okay, so we have to explain how does it fit what we spoke about yesterday. That any other had to go down with chain of metal, which means they had to get there. But the way they got there They got there because of this story that Yaakov Avinu changed. And the change of Yaakov Avinu is the Gemara gives rebuke that a man should never change between one children and the others. He can't change. That caused kina v'sina. So lichoiro.
The place that says.
Yes.
The Mashon said that really Vadai gotta go to Mitzrayim.
Like I said, the other medrash.
But only the difference is they caused the brothers involved in it. I mean, the brothers involved in selling and selling the thing, and the brothers got trouble because they sold the brother. That caused the brothers.
It's not the mashmos of Toishes. This is the inui. Okay.
That caused them to go down.
Okay. But it's not my subject. My subject is, I want to know what is the svara of Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu is Dolador B'chir B'chir. B'chir Ovois is the most chosen one from all the other fathers, patriarchs. How come Yaakov Avinu can make such a fundamental mistake as Kivyochel? What was his svara? What was the svara of Yaakov Avinu to make a change and to give Yosef different clothes, more beautiful clothes than he didn't give all the rest of the brothers? What was the svara of Yaakov Avinu? And not only that, we see later on, if you read through the Psukim, Yaakov Avinu is being called Yaakov. But in whatever the Psukim speaks about, Yaakov making a decision that will cause his children and himself to go down to Egypt, the Torah calls him Yisrael, not Yaakov. Yisroel means the complete Yaakov. Sarita v'Elokim v'Adam, the elevated Yaakov, Yisroel, not Yaakov. So what was it? What was the svara of Yaakov Avinu to give one child a preference more than the rest of the brothers? What was the svara? So I understand the simple svara in chinuch. Yaakov Avinu had a svara, a very strong svara. And this is very important for us to hear. Siyata Nishmai. The Torah says as follows. Yaakov Yosef ben 17 shono. Yosef was 17 years old. He was Rois Echov. He had a good heart. Nars Bilov Zilbo, because he was trained them. He used to go to the lower kids, the children of the maidservants. And it says as follows. It doesn't say Yaakov, it says Yisroel Oaves Yosef. Not Yaakov loved Yosef. All the time it says Yaakov, Eldon is Yaakov, and then it says he came to his father, and his father calls it says Yaakov, always says Yaakov. And then when Yaakov Avinu sent Yosef to his brothers, it doesn't call Yaakov, it says Vayomer Yisroel Yosef, which means all that was step, that svara, that Yisroel loved him. It's all in the name Yisroel and Yaakov, which means the svara of Yaakov Avinu was a complete svara, and the Torah doesn't contradict him. Although the Gemara contradicts, says a person should never do that. But Yaakov Avinu had a very strong svara, and he did it with pureness and an elevated svara. What was the svara of Yaakov Avinu? The Torah says. V'Yisroel oaves Yosef mikol bonov ki ben zekunim lo. So Rashi says, what is ben zekunim? He brings down the unkelus. Arei bar hakimu. He is a child, is a talmid chacham. Kol ma sheloman mishem ve'ever Mussar boy. All what he learned from Shem and Ever, he gave him away. Rashi brings other pirushim. He was born in his later days. Zivukinim, he looked the same. But definitely the svara was because he was a Talmid Chacham. He was a Talmid Chacham child in the house. Now when you want to raise, you have 12 boys in the house. and he wanted to press and give the value of Torah in the home. So the child that is a Talmid Chacham, he learns Yeshu day and night, and he give him over, and he's only 17 years old already. He gives him over all what he learned from Shem Eivet. He has the ability what Yaakov Avinu learned for 14 years. 14 years day and night, not sleeping on a bench, on the floor, on a chair. He gives over, it says, Kol Mashaloma. You know what's Kol Mashaloma? All what Yaakov Avinu succeeded in 14 years in Shem Eivet, he gives over to Yoseif, all what he learned. What a giant Talmid Chacham. He's able to comprehend and to contain all the wisdom of Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu is 100 and something years old, 106 years old. He's giving over to his son 17 years old. No, he was, I don't know, 80, 90 something, whatever it is, was an old man, 90 years old. And he's giving over to his son Yoseif all what he learned. Kol Mashalomad. Kol Mashalomad Yishever Mussar, he gave him over. We know he stopped when he got the Parsha Egla Arufa. So now if you have a child that is a giant, and you want all the children to value Torah, do you give him more? You meshane or you don't meshane? Yaakov Avinu felt and understood in the chinuch of his children. That's why the Torah doesn't contradict. The Torah says, "Yisroel as Yoseif is a kumin lo v'osal those banim." He's an Yisroel, it's not Yaakov. He's a complete Yisroel. This Yisroel is not Yaakov. Because Yisroel had an understanding that in order to build a home of Torah, he has to stress the value of Torah. The child that is more learning, more understanding, more in depth, is going to give him all what he learned over. That child, Bar Chokim, is a son of wisdom. That child has to give more better preference than the rest of the children. So otherwise, how he's going to stress? Because if it's verbally, you don't buy it. If it's actions, so then it's clear that's what he wants. You have a child. He gets 100 in the test. So you buy him a bicycle. The younger child screams, "Hey, Abba, what about me? I also want a bicycle." So the father says, "Okay, get in the test 100, I'll buy you a bicycle too." But why you buy a bicycle? You have to see it. As Rabbi Mordechai says, when a child grows up, you promise him, you give him honey, right? Candies, honeys, who knows what. Then he grows up, he doesn't want honey, he wants bicycles, he wants this and that, he wants a drone. Okay, you learn Torah, you get this and that. He grows up a little more, he says, you get a good wife, give her a house, give her that. And the end of his life, he understands all that, as also the means, and he has to learn Torah because Hashem said, Hashem learn Torah, that's how I'm learning Torah for myself. But the way to build children is you give them values. You stress the values. How do you show values in the house? You show it in actions. So Yaakov Avinu had a very strong svara to stress the value of Torah. But look carefully what happened. Rashi brings down 3 svaras what has been zikuni means. A child has been born in the later days. Unkulu says Bar Chokim. He gave him all of the learning Torah that he had to him. And he looked like him. Why Rashi brings all 3 Perushim? Because all true. And the children did pick up the Choira. That because he's a Bar Chokim, he gets what he gets. If they'll be the same, we'll get the same. They picked up that he loves them more, not because of his actions. There's something internal, intrinsic, in the love between the father and the son. In his later days, Ben Zikuni. So they became jealous. But what happened then of the children of Yaakov Avinu, Shiftei Ko? All of them came out right. All of them came out Talmid Chachamim. The Torah testifies. In the end of the life of Yaakov, all the children came out right. The all tzaddikim Talmid Chacham, Yirei Shamayim. So the message of Yaakov Avinu worked. But in the meantime, when they were growing up, they couldn't see clear that Yaakov Avinu is doing it because he wants to stress the love. And that's what the Gemara is saying. Never a person should change between one child and the others because it creates jealousy. Like we see by Yaakov, that the kids picked up the other sides and they create jealousy, they cause it to come down to Mitzrayim. But the Svara of Yaakov Avinu was very strong. He did it because he really wanted to give value in the house of Torah, and that's really actually he won. And then Yaakov won with all the contradiction, with all the rebuke that the Gemara gives on Yaakov Avinu. Yet it was in Yisroel, and yet he won, and all his children became Shiftei Ko Talmid Chacham Yirei Shamayim. So the question is, after saying all that, what is the correct way to do? You want to stress, you have 10 kids, 9 kids, 12 kids, whatever you have, 3 kids, 4 kids in the house, talking about boys, and you want to stress the value of Torah. So the child that is a Talmid Chacham and winning, what do you do to him? You're not allowed to meshane? How do you do, in what way you stress the love and the value that you have for Torah to your children, that when children pick that up and want to be like that? When a child is learning well, you don't give him what you want to promise, definitely give him. Otherwise, you don't stress that value. But when the other child, according to his capabilities, does whatever he does, and you give him the same, so the older child says, hey, it's not fair. I did much better, I worked much harder, he didn't work so hard, and you give him the same as me, you can't. It has to be according to the investment you do, but his investment is not only investment, it's investment capabilities. Natural gift from HaShem is capabilities. How do you stress the right value? It's a very tough situation. It's very hard to handle a family of many kids, to stress the value of Torah by giving, but little kids you have to give them, as we said, honey, things, for expressing the value, trips, expressing the value of learning Torah. But still has to be in a way that the children don't pick up that you love one child more than the other. It's just because the action that he does, and the action has to be a combination of actions, capabilities, both together. You have to know how to stress. Sometimes you see, you have a very smart child, that he works also hard, or very smart child works very little, he gets the same. Like another smart child works much harder, but they get the same. So you have to read your children and know what to say. Sometimes you have to stress the hardworking, sometimes you stress the results, sometimes both. That's a different story. But the kids cannot pick up that you love him because he's the muzhinik, he's the last child, he's been on an older age, you have some kind of personal relation with that child, and you love him more. Rather than, you're just giving value of Torah, achvarak Torah. And if you learn Torah, you get. And what is learning Torah? Capability is a combination of capabilities, of working hard, both. You really have to make a decision. That's a hard line, how to stress it. But definitely, you're not allowed to make a change that the kids can pick up, that you love one child, you love the rest of them, and it turns keen and see them. But the stress, covered up Torah, and one child that's covered up Torah, and the rest of them, not you stress. And if they understand you only do that because of that, that's a big, you have to be a big chocham how to do it, but if you trust, not a problem. That was a svara of Yaakov Avinu. It was his soil. Yaakov Avinu, he understood that when he stressed Torah, children want Torah. He's a Talmid Chacham. But the kids didn't pick up the Talmid Chacham part. They picked up that he's the last child, he looks like him, all the rest of the Kina. But if they only understand it's pure because of covered up Torah, it's the right Svara, and you win with that, and Yaakov Avinu then won. Or the children became Talmid Chacham. Yirei Shamayim.
How do you do it where they don't pick up where you get the red Svara out?
First you have to read the map of your children, as I said. I gave a little bit of a hint. Let's say some kids are very smart and work also hard, or don't work hard, and they're smart and get some result, and kids who are not so smart but work hard. Or you have a child that's not so smart, is not working hard at all, and the smart child is working hard. Not always you have to stress the same. Sometimes you have to stress the results. Sometimes you stress the working. You have to know. You have to balance.
Means I should show love to Yosef and the other children.
Yes, but the point is that the stress should be that the kids see clearly it's only because of the value of Torah, and not because other personal things, that's why you love your child. Because looks like you, he's born in the days of you. There's a natural thing to love your child, and you're an old man and you gave a child in your older age. There's a natural way, if you call it in Yiddish, mushinik. Your last child, you love him more because he gives you life. So you don't love because he gives you life, or you don't love because he looks like you. Those things, if the kids picks up those things, so they become jealous. So then you lose it. That's what happened. It causes jealous. But if you stress it because the kids see it as only because of Torah, so then they pick it up right.
Another possibility.
Yes.
Vada has to do for Torah. We had to give him another lesson about Kibbutz. He teaches children.
Okay, that's another. That's what I wanted to say.
No. Vada has to do that for Torah, and has to chashuv. But then another class.
Yeah. So the point is, the stress of Torah is right, but to remove the kina was wrong.